Hello and a very warm welcome to the Irish in the UK. Coming up on the show this week, Medicus Pharmacy based in Manchester will be giving us some very good advice on how to deal with diabetes. We'll also be at the Stockport Plaza Theatre for the Pride of Ireland show. But first up, the Fleadh Cheoil of Britain is going to be held for the very first time in its history in the lovely town of Kirkby Lonsdale in the beautiful county of Cumbria. And recently we went along to the press release evening to find out what's in store for us.
For the All Britain Fleadh, we've had qualifiers from 4 regional Fleadhs. We're expecting around 600 competitors over the 2 days of competitions. That will range from the youngest, probably being 6 or 7, right up to the seniors. We're working with the schools, the local schools, introducing Irish music and dancing to the children in the run-up to the Fleadh. There's events around the town. The shops and businesses will be decorating their windows and displays. They'll be bunting up. We're decorating the town with flowers. There's a colouring competition for children, so we're definitely expanding it into to make sure we kind of make it an enjoyable weekend and leave a legacy in the town.
Tell me about the Irish Cafe.
So one of the core kind of tenets of cultures is to promote the Irish language. Every year at the Fleadh we do this and promote the Irish language. So this year, like others, we'll have all our signs bilingual and there will be an Irish language area at the Fleadh. We're very fortunate this year to have a nice bookshop with a cafe, which has been taken over and given over to the Irish language. So anyone interested in language are able to speak a few words. We'll be able to drop in, speak some Irish, meet other Irish language speakers, find out the origins of their name and what their name is in Irish. So generally just enjoy and experience the language. It's a full weekend, going Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got the competitions, music competitions, running both days, Saturday and Sunday. There'll be the official opening on the Friday. We've got concerts, a big ceilidh going with the Blackwater Ceilidh Band, the All Ireland champions. There's a main stage out on the Market Square, which is open air and free to anyone. There's all the Irish language events, lots going on for the whole weekend. It's certainly the highlights of the year for the cultures of Britain, and obviously any of those musicians come along will be meeting up with old friends, making new friends, people they've probably not seen since the Fleadh last year, and all on the road to kind of the All Ireland Fleadh in August. The Fleadh is a big undertaking, and everyone here, everyone organising it and planning it are volunteers. So we always need a lot of volunteers running the event. So we're interested in anyone who'd like to come along, who'd like to volunteer, help organise any part of the festival, as well as enjoy the festival themselves.
Just remind us of the dates again.
So it's the 28th to the 30th of June 2019, and it's happening in Kirkby Lonsdale.
I'm a town councillor and also chairman of the local community interest company which is facilitating this whole event. But it all started almost by accident because I went to church one Sunday and so did Pete Fawcett. He turned up at the church the same day and he was introduced to me and said, you know, we'd like to bring this event to a town for the first time in the history of the event. What do you think about Kirkby Lonsdale hosting it? And being the optimist that I've always been, I said, of course we'll give it a go. And from that day to this, we've been setting about organising it and looking forward to welcoming the competitors and the spectators who come along, the visitors, to our town.
It'll be a lovely event because it's a very, very popular spot.
Indeed, we are very popular. I mean, when we came here at first about 30 years ago, it was a town that opened up at Easter and closed down when the clocks went back in October. But we're now a year-round venue for visitors who come winter, summer, spring and autumn. And we are extremely popular, not only with people from the UK, but from abroad as well.
Pete, where did the idea come about holding the Fleadh here at Kirkby Lonsdale?
Well, I came here last May on a camping trip with my motorhome, And I walked out from the rugby club where the campsite is, and I walked past the famous Rustin's View into the town, and by the time I'd got to the end of Main Street, about 400 yards, it just went bing, this is the place for the flower. And so the next day it was the church service, so after the church service I walked in to have a look at the 800-year-old St Mary's Church, and the vicar, Richard Snow, came up to me and he said, hello, are you a visitor? And I said yes, and I told him the idea for an Irish music festival here at Flower. And he said, one of our parishioners would be interested in this. Hold on a minute. And instantly went. And after about a minute, he came back with none other than Alan Muirhead of the Community Interest Company. And I told Alan my idea just in a minute really. And he looked at me and he says, I think we can handle that. And he said, leave it with me. And I left it with him. 3 days later, he said, yes, we are interested, can we meet?
You put your heart and soul into organising this event, but you're getting close to the big day now.
Yes, definitely. And after 45 years, it'll be a great day when it comes. Somebody said to me, they says, how could you have an idea for 45 years and keep it going? And I said, because I'm a gardener, I'm a professional gardener. And if you're a gardener, you have to have patience. You might sow a seed and it might take 10 years to flower. And a lot of other people, the layman, they couldn't do it. But also, there's the adage, if you want to achieve something long term, do something else at the same time, which is what I've been doing. I've done other things. I haven't been just concentrating on getting a flower into a market town. I've done all manner of things, growing exhibition chrysanthemums, photography, camping, cycling, organising concert tours from Ireland, organising concerts. So I've been like a sort of a giant Boy Scout, I suppose.
Janet, what's it going to mean to have the flower here at Kirkby Lonsdale?
Well, it's a fantastic opportunity for the town to host such a magnificent event. We've hosted films before, but never anything quite so big and so varied as the flower. We're expecting 10,000 visitors every day this weekend.
Tell me a little bit about Kirkby Lonsdale.
Kirkby Lonsdale is a rural market town, and we're nestled between the two national parks of the Yorkshire Dales National Park and the Lake District. We've a population of 2,000. We've a fabulous high street of independent stores. We've a large school, a very active rugby club, and we host a lot of cultural, sporting activities.
Well, we're all really looking forward to a great flower, and don't forget, it's the 28th, 29th and 30th of June. Now, diabetes is something that affects a lot of us, and recently we went along to chat to Medicus Pharmacy about the effects of diabetes and how best we can deal with it. Martin, what is diabetes?
So diabetes is a medical condition in which someone has too much glucose in their bloodstream. So in the UK there's around about 4 million people who have this condition. Diabetes can be broken down into two main types to start with. So there's type 1 diabetes, which is genetic, which is always controlled by insulin. In type 1 diabetes, the patient doesn't produce any insulin at all. Type 2 diabetes is more of a progressive disease, which is as people get older, and it's due to diet and lifestyle factors. So it can be controlled by diet and lifestyle, but also by medication, which usually starts with tablets.
So, Frida, how can we prevent diabetes?
Diabetes can be prevented by adopting more of a healthy lifestyle, eating better, incorporating more exercise into your daily routines, Symptoms of diabetes can include being thirsty, needing to go to the toilet more often, being excessively tired. Also, if you have cuts and grazes and you feel they're not healing as well, that could also be a symptom of diabetes. And recurring thrush or fungal infections.
So how do we go about getting diagnosed?
So diabetes is usually diagnosed by the doctor, and it would be like a fasting blood glucose test. However, pharmacies, ourselves and other pharmacies, can offer a test whereby it's a diabetes screening test. So we would do like a finger prick blood glucose test, and then depending on the results we would refer them on to the doctor. Pharmacists have a big role in diabetes care. We're often the first point of call for diabetic patients. They're not always in and out to the GP every day, but they're always in pharmacy. For someone who's got a complex case of diabetes, they could be on several different medications. So a lot of the time patients do have issues with those. So us as a pharmacy, we help them with that by going out to see our patients if they're struggling. We go through the medication and see what any issues they've got, any side effects, and if there is any problems, again, we can refer them back to the doctor.
It's very important that the diabetes is managed properly. It can lead to other complications such as heart disease, problems with the eyes, feet and kidneys, so it's really important that it's managed well.
For people suffering with diabetes, we hope that you found the advice helpful from Medicus Pharmacy. Don't go away, we're going to take a short break. Welcome back to the show. Now we are here at the Plaza Theatre in Stockport for the Pride of Ireland show. It's going to be a wonderful night with loads of Irish dancing, great songs and wonderful music. So let's go and enjoy it.
The Pride of Ireland show is a brand new show. It's a full Irish show, showcasing Irish music, song, dance and comedy. And we're just finishing our debut 12-date tour in England here in Stockport this evening.
And of course it's a very lively show because you've got loads of music in it, plenty of dancing as well. That's
right. There's a lot of well-known Irish songs in it. We've got some great singers. We've got Frank McCaffrey from Mayo. We've got Cavan's Cathy Durkin. We've a young man from Donegal making a great name for himself, David James. And then we've got Gary Gamble, who's a very well-known comedian. And all their show content's very much geared towards, Irish music. We have my own band, Celtic Storm, and we've a young lady from Derry called Katrina Meenan in playing fiddle, and we've got 2 world champion Irish dancers. So it moves good and fast, and there's a few big ballads on it. A good sing-along, toe tapping, hand clapping, night of Irish music, a few jokes and a bit of dancing, so what more would you want?
And of course you're a very busy man otherwise because you're always arranging and promoting other shows.
Thankfully JMG Music Group's going very strong at the minute. We tour a lot of top Irish artists in the UK and in Ireland as well. We recently had Jimmy Buckley over in tour in England and he'll be coming back next year. Declan Nerney's doing a few concert dates for us and Robert Mizell. And at the end of September we have a show called The Stars of Irish Country coming to England for the 3rd year in a row, and this tour will feature Mick Flavin, Stephen Smith, Louise Marcy, Curtis McGee and ourselves, the band, and we're doing 18 dates in total. Thankfully the people are coming out and supporting the country music and the Irish section. That's down to people like yourself and the radio stations and all the great outlets there is to get the messages out there. So long may it continue and we'll keep coming.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside, the summer's gone and all the flowers are dying.
Of course, you're very well known here in the UK and you've played here for many, many years up and down the country.
Well, I've been around for a while, all right, yeah. I think I've covered every corner of the country at this stage now. But it's great. This is a concert, of course, a concert circuit now, so theatres all the way. It's lovely.
Now, tonight's your last night on this particular show here in Stockport, and then are you back home to Mayo for a while?
Yes, I'm going home tomorrow. I'll go back to pay the ESB bill. Yeah. And we've more shows coming up than concerts at home.
You've got lots of fans here in Stockport and around Greater Manchester, so you'll get a great reception tonight.
I'm looking forward to it now. It's a lovely venue. Lovely venue, yeah. I'm looking forward to it now, and I hope to see a lot of friendly faces and people that I would have known over the years.
And I believe you've been busy. You're back in the recording studio as well.
Yeah, I have a new CD called My Pride of Ireland, so just coincidentally. But it's all Irish songs from the show I'll be doing as well.
Well, it's great to see you here, Frank, and we wish you the best of luck in the future.
And thanks, Mark. Thanks for all your support.
It's a song, the sign you're weary. Hard times, come again no more. Every day you will linger around down that door. Oh, hard times come again no more. All right, go Katrina. It's a song, the sign you're weary. Come on. Hard times.
It has been a great tour. This is our last night, and to be honest with you, I'm sad leaving the band and the crowd, and the tour has been excellent.
Now, I believe that you're going back into the recording studio as well.
Hopefully by September I hope to bring out a new album with I have a new single out called Go Light Your World, so I'm hoping that I'll make that as the cover of my new album, and it's a very, very strong single, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I think a lot of your fans will be looking forward to it because you've made so many CDs and albums, but we haven't heard from you for a little while.
I've been on and off the road for the last 10 years, but I had 2 bad accidents, and I had an accident there 5 years ago, and I have a bad injury to my leg, and and that has put me at a sink a lot of the time, and I just didn't have I don't know what I'll say. I just didn't have the energy to go again. But James asked me to do some of his shows, and it was him really. I have to say thanks to James who got me back on the scene again. So that's why I'm going to record a new album and do some more of these shows in England and Scotland and all over.
And of course, you're a great County Cavan lady.
I'm from County Cavan. Yeah, my grandmother came from Mayo. My mum and dad came from Cavan.
So is that where you got the idea from, My Mother Came from Mayo, for that song?
No, actually, I was in New York and I met a guy called Noel Henry, and he wrote that song. And it was my mother from the county of Mayo. I love the melody of it. And my grandmother came from a place called Claremore, Scordon. And unfortunately, I never got to meet my grandmother, but my dad always told me she was a great singer, and that's where I got my singing.
I've got a brother, he's in the garden. I've got an uncle, way over there on the guitar. He's quite a charmer, he's a mighty big farmer. Catch me if you can, the name is Dan. Okay, sing the chorus with me. And I'm on the Plymouth Mar. At the end of the year, I'm off with a bit of a wreck. Now with that and the beer, I'm off for shifting. I've got even 50. Catch me if you can, the name is Dan, sure I'm your man.
Gary, this show has had everything. It's got great music, wonderful dancing, and here are you. You're the funny man in the show.
Jeez, I don't know about that, Martin. Yeah, it is certainly a fantastic show. It's actually a celebration of Irish culture, from music, the dance, the comedy, the crack, and the old Irish jokes as well about Paddy and Mick being at different bars. And, it's just certainly a super show from Ireland, and all the acts are Irish as well.
Where do you come up with all the clips and ideas to make us all laugh?
A bit of madness, I think, comes into the equation there, Martin. Yeah, I've always been fond of comedy and crack and, entertaining people. And I would say I wouldn't be the best singer in the world, but I always try, and put my hand to things. But yeah, this last while now, the comedy seems to be working on my side and my favour. So I've written a new comedy show with a few friends from back in Ireland last year. and we're going to be putting that on stage on the 19th of June. It's called Sorry for Your Loss. It's about an Irish wake, and I'm still back in the studio. I've been in the studio, and I go back in again to do another album. I have just released a new album this week as well, Martin. It's called Ireland, and we have it with us on tour, and it features 12 songs, very Irishy, of course. We've got everything in there from Star of the County Down to Hills of Donegal, Whiskey in the Jar, The Boys from the County Armagh, and 40 Shades of Green, and many more. So that'll be a good old one for your radio station too.
Your TV show, tell me how that's going for you.
Yeah, it's going very well. We're still being inundated with requests and dedications. There's got a great viewership on there. It's on the Keep It Country channel on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. until 9.
My name is David James. I'm 20 years old and I come from Donegal. By day I'm on the radio. I'm on Highland Radio weekdays 2:30 to 5, and then by night I'm on the stage, whether it's with the Pride of Ireland show or indeed doing my own thing back home as well. I'm a singer and a dancer, so I'm singing some great Irish songs throughout the show, and as well as that I'm Irish dancing here and there as well. And two great friends of mine, Ciara Dixon and Rowan Bold, they're on tour with us, and they're from Glasgow, world champion Irish dancers. So the three of us do some dancing together, and it just is a real great variety. And you might even see me dancing over an old brush here and there as well.
And I believe that you're a world champion Irish dancer yourself as well.
Yeah, that's right. Lucky enough to win the Worlds with 7 great friends of mine in Dublin in 2017. And, to this day, it's probably been one of the best days of my life.
It's great to meet you, David, and we wish you the very best of luck for your show here tonight in Stockport. Well, we've had a great night here with all the crew from the Pride of Ireland show. And sadly, that brings us to the end of our show for this week. Don't forget, Henry McGlade is back next Thursday evening with his show at 7 o'clock. And we are here with the Irish in the UK at 7:30. All on Sky Channel 192. Until next time, take care.